The appeal court sitting in Abuja has ruled that the removal of Mr. Okezie Ikpeazu as governor of Abia State is null and void. The 5-member panel of judges has set aside the judgment of Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court sacking Governor Ikpeazu over allegations of filing false tax documents. In the lead judgment read by Justice Ibrahim Velia, the appeal court insisted that the lower court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case, and that any decision that flowed from it was null and void. The 5-man panel stressed that the law has laid down principles by which a case could be instituted. The justice added that in the motion which led to the appeal, 3 people indicated themselves as lawyers and signed the document, while the law says only an identifiable legal practitioner can do so. He added that it was not the business of the court to embark on a voyage of helping a litigant decide who files his case. To Ebonyi State now, where security operatives have foiled an attempted jailbreak at the Abakaliki prison following hours of intense protest by prison inmates over alleged maltreatment and poor welfare by prison officials. Unconfirmed reports say that at least 4 people, including 2 prison officials, may have been killed, while several others were wounded. The Ebonyi State Controller of Prisons, Mrs. Adoabi Okuta, says that trouble began at about 9:30 a.m. today after some inmates refused to allow the prison authorities conduct their routine searches of their cells. So the inmates are reported to have attempted to flee during the chaos that ensued, but were prevented from doing so by the police, who were on hand to quell the riot. Staying with security, 49 hostages, including the district head of Tama in Toro local government area of Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria, are now breathing the air of freedom following their rescue from kidnappers. This was announced by the police commissioner in the state, Haliru Gwandu, while briefing journalists on the activities of the command in fighting crime. He also confirmed that over 50 suspects, including the kidnappers of the monarch, have been arrested in connection with the crime.
The command has rescued 49 hostages, including the district head of Tama in Toro local government area, Alhaji Adamu Yakubu. Arrested over 50 suspects comprising of 35 suspected kidnappers, 10 armed robbery suspects, 5 cattle rustlers, 1 police impersonator. Suspects have volunteered very useful information to the police regarding their nefarious activities and level of involvement. 45 suspects were charged to court, while 23 others are under investigations.
The police remain busy around the country. In the southwest, for instance, in Osun State, the police command, 29 police officers are presently on trial at the provost office for various offences contradicting the police code and conduct. The Osun State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Femi Oyeleye, who made this known while briefing journalists in his office in Osogbo, the state capital, says the offences range from extortion to dereliction of duty and inadequate supervision from superior officers, amongst others. The police boss assured them that in line with the vision of the Inspector General of Police to ensure discipline, any officer who engages in illegality or misconduct will no longer be spared from facing the consequences.
Total cases for now is 29 of police that have misconducted themselves within Osun that are on trial. And they have been apprehended for different cases ranging from extortion to illegal duty to neglect on duty, for leaving beats, dirty in persons, general discreditable conduct, and for lack of supervision on the part of the senior officers. So what we are saying is that the IG have said his administration is going to be transparent and accountable to the public. So the complaints that we read or we get from the papers and from our own complaints bureau, we quickly get hold of them and, deal with them accordingly.
From the police to the army and the ongoing saga of the kidnap of the Chibok girls in the northeastern part of the country, the latest news now concerning the freed Ahmed Bolori, one of the 3 persons declared wanted on Monday over claims that those 3 people possess information on the whereabouts of the missing Chibok girls. That man has been let go. However, he confirmed, that is the Colonel Sani Usman of the Nigerian Army, confirmed to Channel Television that he was released on administrative bail and will have to report to the military authorities from time to time. They had announced that he, as well as a Dubai-based Nigerian journalist Ahmed Salkida and one Aisha Wakil, were wanted for questioning. This followed the release on Sunday of the latest video that's shown around the world, showing some of the girls in an unnamed location, with one of them pleading with the government to release the detained Boko Haram members to enable them, that is the girls, regain their freedom. While Ms. Wakil remains in custody of the military authorities after voluntarily turning herself in, Mr. Salkida has said he's willing to return to Nigeria to prove his innocence. Staying with security, but to another sort, having to do with the boundaries of the country now, the Nigeria Customs Service has reopened the warehouses of the 2 major aviation handling companies, the Skyway Aviation Handling Company Limited, SACO, and the Nigeria Aviation Handling Company, NACO, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport over suspected export of donkey skin. The controller of the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Customs Service, Mohammed Dahiru, told Channel Television that the warehouses were reopened after certain documents were obtained from the operators.
We have to take control of the 2 export warehouses for us to obtain the documents which we have now. That is the reason actually why we unsealed the 2 places. The investigation is ongoing. It's only after the conclusion of the investigation that we can find who is culpable. Whether actually that even the terminal operators are capable or not, because it depends on the level of documentation that we know that whether they are capable or not. It depends on the level of documentation that we know whether our officers are capable or not. Because if it is something actually meant for export, the warehouse operator cannot say actually that he's not taking anything into his warehouse.